Yay!
Season 2.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to season 2. We are very excited to have you here.
Yeah, and excited for a new season, new chance.
Yeah, 100%. A new beginning.
New beginning.
Half. Yeah. Firstly, we want to thank you guys for all the support on season 1. We really appreciate it. And it's very special to start building this community and getting to know you guys slowly but surely. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, looking back, we're both very happy and grateful. Yeah. In season 1, we really focus on our career journeys, how we made the shifts, decisions we made. And then this season, we'd really like to dive deeper into the very messy and difficult parts of our 20s, of careers, of relationships. And yeah, just kind of go into the trenches, like Danelle would say.
As deep as possible.
As deep as possible.
I just kind of want to circle back to the goal that we set with Running with Scissors in the beginning, which was kind of to be that big sister and that safe space of advice and everything. And that's kind of where we want to lean more towards for season 2.
No, really just share the deep and difficult things and be that voice of advice. And I think it also gives the opportunity to, build a community that's throwing questions back and starting conversations that we maybe have opinion on or can, chime into.
Yeah, and just build those relationships.
Very excited.
But yeah, thank you for being here.
For episode 1, we are going to ride the wave of being a big sister and giving advice.
Yes.
And talk about things we wish we knew before starting the podcast, before making changes in our career, a bunch of stuff. Just things that if we could go back a few years and speak to our younger self, what would we say?
Yeah, we wish we knew. Things we wish we knew a few years back.
Made it a little bit easier.
Life would have been very different if we knew these things from the start.
Yeah.
But yes.
No regrets.
No regrets though. No regrets. You live and you learn. But at least we can try and be that little
voice to someone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
The first point that I wish I could tell myself, just to prepare myself for this happening.
Yeah.
Because it's tough the first few times it happens and it's very flippin' irritating, is it's going to be a very hard journey, but people think it's not a hard journey or that you don't work hard.
Yeah, and it's very romanticized.
Yes.
I think now more than ever on social media, we keep seeing all these ads for start your own business, do this, get out of the rat race.
Even just American influencers. You see them being paid millions for the content they create. And it looks so easy.
Yeah. And even everyone is starting all these ebooks and all these courses and everything for how to start your own business, how to make money off your hobbies, whatever. So it's so romanticized at this point in time. I understand how it looks so easy and it looks so seamless.
Because people make it look easy.
Yeah, people make it look easy because they want you to buy their stuff, right?
But you do work overtime and hard. And it's not necessarily it can sometimes be, working literally from 6 to 6 or, working hours and hours and hours, mental capacity, everything. But emotionally, it's tough. You deal with a lot of emotional, physical, whatever, that just adds to the pile.
Yeah.
And I remember the first year I started, it was a few months in, and a friend told me, and luckily there was another friend who I love very dearly, they were in the conversation, but someone said, your life looks so easy. I wish I could, leave my job and do it. And it looks so fun and having your own time, having everything. And this one other friend stepped in and she's like, I'm sure there's a lot of tough times and things you go through. And I'm like, yep, if only you knew what I've been doing these last few months and how tough it really is to me, in the space I am. But people just always have.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think
perceptions.
People tend to think it does look easy, fair enough, because you don't see the behind the scenes, you don't see the struggles, you only see the good times, because that's the stuff that's posted, right? But on top of that, and you mentioned this earlier, is the fact that emotionally, physically, time-wise, it's so draining, but financially, it's also a big thing.
A big stressor,
yeah. Because you're not making money yet. Like, you just start your business. It's a whole process.
Yeah.
It's a whole process of building a business before you even launch. So financially, there's also like a big aspect to it. People also tend to think that you don't really do anything because you manage your own business, right? You have full control over your time, etc., etc. So what are you just...
How difficult can it be?
How difficult can it be? How busy can you be? So I remember in the beginning, everyone would just constantly like ask me to do things or like help here or like pick this up. Oh, sorry, they're at work, they can't do this. Can I please do it for them? Etc., etc. And I'm kind of like, guys, you know, I have a job.
I'm actually working.
Yeah.
That was a big one for me as well, yeah.
People tend to think like you just sit.
Yeah. Have all the time in the world.
Yeah. So it's so important to set boundaries in that sense as well. And unfortunately, people are going to think like it's easy and you don't do anything. But like, shut out the noise and just focus on your goal. Because at the end of the day, you know what you're chasing. You know what your goal is and what you want to achieve. Yeah. But just shut out the noise because it's so unnecessary. So the first thing that comes to mind of like things I wish I knew before leaving my corporate job, etc., etc. And I did know to an extent, but the mental health dip that you go through after leaving a job. I mentioned this in season 1, but my mentor basically told me about the mental health dip that comes after leaving a job. And I thought, no, man, it can't be that bad. Like, I know myself pretty well. I'm quite self-aware. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
No. It's
tough.
You can't prepare for that one. Yeah. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. That mental health dip just after you leave your job or just after you pursue something new.
Yep.
It's a very lonely space. It's also it's a very difficult space. No one really understands what you're going through.
Yep.
And you are the only person who can kind of, to an extent, be there for yourself because you're the only one who knows what's going on in your brain.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of factors that come with it.
Yeah.
I think I kind of blocked out that mental dip by keeping myself busy. It has caught up to me in the meantime. But it's tough because you're questioning a lot of things, decisions you make. You're questioning yourself, intuition. You're questioning whether you can do it. You're questioning the industry. You're questioning a bunch of stuff. Like, there's a lot of things to consider.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the things that I actually still struggle with it is like going into slow fashion industry. You were kind of challenged with a lot of opinions on slow fashion, on styles, on whatever, and you kind of need to figure out, where do I stand, what do I do? And also just remembering that you in your own lane, like you running your race, that you don't have to be like another business, or you don't have to follow in someone's footsteps that you don't agree with or whatever.
Yeah, you don't have to compete.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's quite tough. You just have to mentally be strong and power through. And that's where it really helps to have a good support system and people in your life who speak life into you.
Yeah, 100%.
And are just there to listen if you need someone to
guidance.
Talk to. Yeah.
I think also, like you mentioned, is that mental health dip caught up to you. I think it's just important to like take note of that.
100%, yeah.
And also just realize like you have to feel that. Like, feeling it and experiencing it is not a bad thing. That doesn't make you weak. That doesn't make you a loser. That doesn't make you unsuccessful. It doesn't make you less of. It is something that is human. And if you don't deal with it, and if you keep suppressing those emotions, like, it's just going to catch up to you, and it's going to take longer to even process it.
100%.
So rather like take it, deal with it, feel those emotions, process them, and kind of like come out stronger at the end. Rather than suppressing them as long as humanly possible and then burning out at some point in time.
I agree with that, yeah.
It is human at the end of the day.
I think part of that mental dip is as well, you're leaving stability, you're like leaving structure. And if you just think of our life, we are put in school at 6 years old. You're in a set structure until you're 18, so for 12 years. Then some people go to university, some don't. But if you go to university, you're in structure for another 4 years. You go to a job, you're in structure. So we're so used to having set structure. You live in your parents' house, there's structure. Now there's no structure, like the world's at our fingertips.
Yeah, someone is constantly telling you what to do, what time to be where, what time to clock in, what time to be at school, what time to be at your job, what time classes in university. And now you make the rules, basically. You decide what time you get up in the morning. You decide what time you're going to the gym. You decide if you're going to the gym. You decide what you eat. You decide when you work. There's so many factors that play into it.
Yeah.
And then I think we'll just quickly touch on some points that helped us through that. So firstly for me was just surrounding myself with people that made me feel really good and made me feel confident and were willing to listen to me even though they didn't understand. I'm very grateful that I at least had Laurie who could understand what I was going through to an extent.
I think we're very fortunate to have each other for that. Yeah.
Definitely. My family was extremely supportive. Friends and family played a big role in just staying positive and staying excited and kind of having them remind you this was the goal. You got this. You're okay. Especially on the bad days. It's they just need to remind you you're going to be okay.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Another thing that I think really helps me is routine and structure. You just talked about, but creating it for myself. And I get up early in the morning because that's when I'm most productive. And to get myself up in the mornings, I go gym early in the morning. So between 5 and 6, I'm up and gymming. And this past week, I have been sick and I didn't do that. And I cannot explain to you how difficult this week has been just getting things done because there's no reason for me to get up. I could be doing this work at 10 tonight if I really want to. So I really realized that structure is so key to my mental health, and it's just getting things done on time.
No, definitely. One that definitely helped me was something that we kind of brought into season 1, which was the tiny triumphs thingy, or section, where we would set small bite-sized goals for ourselves, and that was key to my mental health and my productivity in the first few months of my business. Is I had to set myself achievable goals, but small bite size. I could list 20 things that I had to do in one day, but they were all manageable by themselves, and I could achieve all of those things in one day because it wasn't just build a business, it was all the little steps, which just makes it so much more
achievable,
but
realistic.
It's not as overwhelming. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. So thinking of building a business, you know what the end goal is, you know what the vision is.
Yes.
How do you get to that point? Oh my goodness, that's impossible. Let's take a step back.
Yes.
Look at all the little things that we need to get in place and use those as goals.
I agree.
Right? Achieve this week. Okay, that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do.
Just achieve that.
Yeah. And it makes it so much less overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so much more achievable, but also I just get so much more motivated.
Absolutely, I agree with you on that. No, and I think the last point we can talk about is doing things that excite me in your business, excite me. So I've done projects over the last year and a half that won't necessarily sell the best or according to society standards is the best move, but they excite me, they deeply excite me. And so I will do that just to keep the fire ignited in me. And so last year, for Women's Day, I'd always do a Women's Day project, and I did with my sisters, who it did all right, but it just excited me to be able to work with my sisters and actually do something for them and with them more than anything. And that just kept me excited for the next project and kept me excited for the process.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is literally just walking through a material shop, a fabric shop.
Oh, I love that.
And just looking at all the possibilities before me.
Exactly.
It really does. It just re-excites me.
Guys, if you're ever sad, just go walk through a metro or a Shamble.
Or something. No, it's glorious,
Such a dream.
honestly.
Oh, I love it so much. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a very good point. It's just like work on projects that are really exciting to you and like ignite that passion within you, but also, and that being like within your business, but also just do things that make you really happy outside of work.
Yeah.
Small things like go for a walk in the morning or go for a walk late afternoon.
Yeah.
Or like paint something, anything.
Whatever
like just do whatever it may be to like calm your brain down firstly. Something that makes you really happy, something that makes you feel fulfilled.
Exactly.
Or maybe just like it just makes you happy, and that's all, and that's good enough.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
Yeah, life's too short, guys.
Okay, then the third point that we wish we could talk to ourselves about in a few years back is how lonely this journey can become. And we have spoken about the season 1, but it's really a point that I think resonates with both of us very strongly. This journey is so lonely, and it doesn't have to do necessarily with who's around you, because we both have very supportive families, people in our lives, friends, husband, and it's not necessarily, has nothing to do with them.
Yeah,
it's just more of a mental game, and that's lonely.
Yeah. No, definitely, because it really is such a mental game. And like you said, like your family, you could have such supportive, like such a support system behind you, and it can still feel so lonely because no one understands. It's the big thing of like being misunderstood. They don't understand what you're going through. They don't understand your vision. They don't understand everything that goes into it, etc., etc.
Yeah.
We mentioned this in season 1, but going from a workplace or university or school or whatever it may be, being surrounded by people constantly, you are now by yourself. You work from home probably. And when you get lonely, you go work from a coffee shop. You're surrounded by people fair, but you're not like, they're strangers, right?
And obviously the long-term goal isn't to be alone in your business, or maybe it is. For me personally, it isn't to be alone in my business. I would love to have people on board, but that's a business decision I have to make financially, which I can't make at this stage. And for the time being, like I need to accept that, or I did accept that for the next 2 or 3 years, it's me and we have to fight this battle alone. And then just adding to your, they don't understand fully is, no one's going to understand you lying awake until 12 at night thinking about things you need to do. Like no one's going to get that because it's all mentally and in my head. And that's fine. It's like it's no one's fault for not understanding. But you do need to be really mentally tough sometimes and just push through and keep focus.
Yeah. I think even just as an example is, I had a small little clothing brand a few years back, right? I still don't understand all the things that Laurie deals with on a day-to-day basis and what she's going through and how like production or patterns or fabrics or whatever it may be. There's so many different things and factors that play a role.
Yeah.
So you can't really compare your journey to someone else's at the same time.
So especially if I think of my husband, for example, he's a problem solver. Like if I tell him, you know, I'm struggling with suppliers, then he's like, okay, here's 10 suppliers numbers, he'll stay up, get me numbers, whatever. Like that's not what I need. I have spoken to 120 suppliers already. I just need someone telling me, shame, I'm so sorry about that.
Exactly. Most of the time you just need someone to listen.
Exactly. Yeah, but it is lonely, and I don't think it necessarily gets easier always. I definitely go through waves where like sometimes I'm like on top of it and I feel good, motivated, and it's okay to be alone. And then some weeks go by and I'm like, I literally just need some connection, someone to understand and someone to work with me. Yeah. Yeah,
no, definitely. Even just someone to like a soundboard to just kind of like, this is the plan, this is how this works, whatever. You also, sometimes you kind of just need that little bit of validation.
Yes.
I think it is so important to build your support system and build your community so that you have people you can run to in those moments. But something that I also wish I knew was the fact that your circle is going to change a lot, and people who you thought were going to support you and who you are and just keep loving you through the process are not necessarily. it's sad, but it is what it is, right? So you're going to lose people, and that's okay, but you're going to gain other people, which is very exciting at the same time. And I must say, even through the few months after I left corporate and kind of like try to figure out what was the goal, what was my new intention, etc., I met so many lovely humans. I mean, my roommate, I met through the process, right? And people that inspire me so much, and people that have helped me grow so much, and other creatives, etc. So I am so blessed to be able to have these people in my life, but you have to take the step before you kind of like...
Exactly, yeah.
And you also have to be open to it. I think we tend to get so... Everything keeps changing constantly. We kind of want to just stay in our safe space, keep the people that we've always had in our lives.
Slow down,
Yeah, but at some point in time, like, you need to realize your career is changing, your life is changing, your direction is changing. The people who you have might no longer serve you, or you serve them. But you have to be open to getting to know new people, finding a community that supports you.
And the fourth thing I wish we could talk to our previous selves about, and this one I feel very strongly about. Because this year has been a very massive learning curve in this specific area. And that is that you are going to go in, like, seasons come in waves. So our busy seasons, quiet seasons, how fast your business grows, how slow your business grows, everything like moves like waves. And that's how I see it in my brain, is like waves coming in and out. And I know that this can be in any part of your life. It can be in corporate. It can be in anything. But I don't know, for some reason, it was really difficult for me to experience, because my busy season equals new pieces, equals sales, equals growth. My quiet seasons, that's not a factor. So everything that's exciting, everything that's in my head success and a win is taken away. Like, things aren't happening. My patterns, my products aren't coming out. I'm not making sales. I'm not getting income. My business isn't necessarily growing. And I made a post about this the other day, and as I was like thinking of what I should, write and whatever, AI told me. It said quiet seasons doesn't mean stagnant.
Yes.
Okay. So just because it's quiet and I'm quiet and I need to do more behind the scenes work doesn't mean I'm stagnant. But it does feel like that.
Yeah.
It really does.
That, yeah.
And that's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And it's something I really needed to get over. Because like this week, I've been working from 5 a.m. until evening time, just getting everything done I need to. Where literally a week back, I was busy maybe one day a week with things I needed to get done. Yeah.
But that's the thing as well, is I think we tend to get into this headspace of nothing is happening, I'm not being successful, nothing is happening,
absolutely.
whatever. Where those phases of growth where you're working behind the scenes, that is very much like, I kind of want to say like the season of becoming, like the season of building.
Yes, absolutely.
And then you get to this point and you launch and everyone can see what you've been working on. Everyone like can give you that validation, which is great, right? And then you launched and everyone was super excited for a few weeks, and then it drops again. And then you start building on the new collection, and then it's build. It's very much a mindset game of like staying positive within that building season.
Yes.
But without the building season, you can't have the high, you can't have the success, you can't have the growth. So I think it's just very important to like stay positive within that little
I agree with you, yeah.
shitty stage. But even for me, I mean, I work in the event space and events are very periodic. You know, some months are super busy and some months are dead.
It's nothing, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really tough to kind of like stay positive through that season and start building to try and get business for the next season, etc. But it's just so important to realize that the slow seasons does not mean that you're failing. It just means that you're building, and that's a building phase, and use that time to build and to improve and to get everything ready back end or improve back end, so that when those busy seasons hit again, it's so easy to just like hit the ground running type of thing. A very important point that I think I wish I knew was that passion is not enough in a business, in a
so tough
small
to
business.
learn,
Is passion is not going to keep you going. Unfortunately, it's going to be discipline and it's going to be all the habits that you build and the routines that you build, because you're going to have bad days and you're going to have days where you don't believe in yourself, but also you kind of feel like you lost all that passion, right? And it doesn't exist anymore. And then you wake up the next day and then you're like, oh, actually, passion's back.
No, I agree.
But you're not always going to have that motivation, and you have to like force yourself through with discipline.
And I think it's very important, because when you step into a dream, or like, you know, chasing a goal dream. So, yeah, I was chasing a dream of having my own brand. Passion was at an all-time high. But just loving fashion, loving designing and making clothes isn't going to get my taxes done, isn't going to get my orders packed. Like, I know it sounds so stupid, but it really is what it is. Like, that add-on, it's not going to get my material bought and items shipped and queries answered. Like, just because I love making clothes, that's not going to just automatically happen.
It's not going to make social media posts for you.
Yeah, I don't even do that. But no, honestly, so you need to realize that with your passion, and I think it really relates nicely with our first point of people don't always see that part of it. Is like, just because I love fashion and I might have some sorts of talent in it, it doesn't mean that that's running my business. Like, there's a lot of behind the scenes and a lot of self-discipline that I need to have to do this. And that's in any goal. That's
so fair. I didn't even think about it that deep. I love doing events, right? I love doing events. Does that mean I'm super excited to set up a contract? No.
Exactly. Exactly that, yeah.
What do you mean? No, that has nothing to do with it. No, that is so true. Unfortunately, a business is not just the fun thing. It's not just the passion. It is every little detail. It is every little shitty thing that you need to deal with. It is every vendor you need to deal with, every supplier you need to deal with, every client you need to deal with, and every back-end document, etc., etc.
But then again, like, I would circle back to that, like, doing things that ignite that passion, because literally, I can remember this day so clearly. I was really frustrated in business. I was like, oh, maybe just quit. And I was with my sister, and she's like, let's just quickly go into this material shop, Shandor. Oh, Shandor's my dream. And we walked in there, and literally my mood changed like this. She even had a photo of me just like smiling ear to ear, because then I remembered that's my passion. Like, that's what I absolutely love about this industry and about what I do. And if you can just hold on to that, your passion can definitely bring you through those hard times. Like, it makes admin worth doing, it makes everything worth it, but it's not the only thing that's going to get you to your end goal.
100%.
It can keep you motivated, however, but
definitely. Once again, guys, if you're ever sad, just go into Shandor.
Just go into Shandor. Honestly, shout out Shandor.
It's so great. I love it so much. We just want you to remember that it's going to be okay. You're going to go through all these shitty little moments and shitty little situations, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it. The passion is worth it. And slowly but surely it'll start making sense. You just need to like stay motivated, and mindset for me is like the most important point of building a business, because without that
you don't have much.
100% is your mindset makes such a big difference to your business growth and your personal growth and developments, etc., etc.
I agree with you. And you're not, just because you're going to go through dips or difficult times, you're going to question what you're doing, question your purpose or whatever. Like, you're not doing something wrong. That's just natural. We just all have to figure it out. Life does move in waves and seasons, and you just have to keep going.
It's messy, but it's magical.
It's magical. We have decided to add a segment. Both of us are super passionate about small South African brands and small businesses, people who are chasing different paths, building something from scratch, and we'd love to kind of bring that into our podcast, share some small brands with you every week.
We want to feature a small business of the week for every episode, which we're very excited about, because like you said, we are very excited and passionate about shopping local, supporting local as much as we can, and just supporting people that are kind of like that took the leap of faith.
Exactly,
And etc.
And I think the other thing is, it's so nice to just get recommendations. Like, we always like people recommending new brands and new ideas.
Yeah,
so 100%. So if you have a favorite small brand,
or if you are a small brand,
please reach out.
Please let us know. And yeah, we would love to have you as part of the community. We'd love to like build a community of small businesses as well, so we can all support each other and all learn from each other and all grow together. So please let us know, reach out, send us a DM or an email or comment on a post so we can get the ball rolling.
We'd love to.
Yeah, we'd love to have you a part of this season. Thank you guys so much for joining for Season 2, Episode 1.
Have the best day.
Have the best day and the best week, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Love you, bye.
Bye.